Good morning, students. In the previous lecture, we talk about natural resources, in which we talk about our first natural resources, that is air. Now, let us talk about another natural resources, that is water. As you all know that water is the life, because we drink water for survival and also survival of animals and plants. We needed water for various purposes such as drinking, taking bath, washing clothes, cleaning of house, cleaning of utensils. So for all of this we need water. Water also play a crucial role in our body. It helps in transporting the nutrients to the different cells of the body. At the same time, it also helps out the excreta from the body. As you know, water is a universal solvent and they have got a great property. And it is a transparent, odorless, tasteless, colorless and fluid. So it is a main component of hydrosphere. The hydrosphere includes water that is on the surface of the planet. Not only the surface of water as well as underground water and also in the air that is present in the form of water vapor, also considered as hydrosphere. A planet's hydrosphere can be liquid, vapor or ice as well as in the form of solid. As you all know that water is present in these forms. All these three states of water can be considered to be gathered under hydrosphere. But why water is so necessary? And do all organisms require water? All cellular processes take place in a water medium. Terrestrial life forms require fresh water for this because their body cannot tolerate or get rid of the high amount of dissolved salts in saline water. Thus, water source is needed to be easily accessible for animals and plants to survive on land. Now, if we know about the distribution of water in the hydrosphere as shown in the figure, 96 to 97.5% of water will be constituting of ocean water. Only 2.5% is fresh water. 68.7% is stuck in glaciers and ice caps. And 30.1% is groundwater. And this water can be used as digging the well, making bow wells, and only 1.2% surface as well as other water is present. And 69% is found in ground ice and in lakes. 20.9% is found. And in atmosphere there is 3.0% of water. And living things 0.26% of water is found. We have small amount of water which is potable water which we can drink. This is the distribution of the water. Now coming quickly to the soil water. What is soil water? Basically there are three types of water. First is gravitational water, that is 1/3 bar. Second, capillary water 1/3 to -31 bar. And last one is hygroscopic water, that is 10,000 bar. Here you can see there are the definitions of soil waters. First one, hygroscopic water. It is a type of water which is tightly bound to the soil particles. So water which is retained around the soil particles is known as hygroscopic water. Second one is gravitational water. The water is not actually attached to the soil particles, which is free to drain downwards through the soil. This is the reason we call gravitational water. So this water is able to move downwards in the soil through the gravitational force. because it is free water and it can make or increase the water table. So we can say the water which is free to drain downwards to the soil is known as gravitational water. Now third one is capillary water. Capillary water which is held in around the soil particles but not very tightly as hygroscopic water, but they are found in the channels of the soil. If you see the soil, there are pores out of the channels which is created by soil particles, and it is held in the capillary pores, that is micropores, and it is written on the soil particles by surface forces. So this is a type of capillary water. So we can say capillary water, it is held in the capillary pores or micropores. Capillary water is written on the soil particles by surface pore. This is a type of soils water. There you can see the charts of types of soil water. Now coming to our next topic, that is water pollution. Water pollution. Pollution comes everywhere. It can be of any natural resources. If such natural resources can be introduced into water, soil, etc., it can be polluted. We already know that water is the most important resources on the planet. It is the essential of all life on the earth. And yet, if you ever see a river or lake around your city, it would be evident to you that we are facing a very serious problem of water pollution. Now, what is water pollution? As we can define, water pollution is the contamination of water bodies like oceans, seas, lakes, river, aquifers and groundwater, usually due to human activities. Water pollution is any change in the physical, chemical or biological properties of water that will have a detrimental consequence of any living organism. So, our next topic is types of water pollution. So, again, there are three types of pollution. First is surface water pollution. You all know that what is on the surface, that is lake, ponds, river, oceans, seas. So, whatever water bodies we see on the body surface of the land is such surface body which is polluted by the toxic materials or non-biodegradable materials like plastics. Such water bodies can be called as surface water pollution. Or we can say it is the pollution of aquatic system that are above ground such as streams, lakes, ponds, river, etc. These waters become polluted when rainwater runoff carries pollutants into the water. The pollutants transported by runoff are things like salt and chemicals from city and highway roads and nutrients, fertilizers from farms and lawns. Toxic chemical may also lead to surface water pollution. These are the sources of surface water pollution. Surface water can be polluted through groundwater. Now, surface water pollution. The major sources of surface water pollution are first sewage, that is emptying drains and sewers. Second one is industrial effluents, toxic chemicals, acid, salt. Third, synthetic detergent in washing and cleaning. Fourth, agrochemicals, fertilizer, insecticides, etc. Fifth, oil. Oil spill in seawater. Last one is waste heat from industrial discharge. Our second type of water pollution is groundwater pollution or underground water pollution. Sources of groundwater pollution includes natural resources, surface pollutants, leaching through soil and leaky underground structures. Chemicals break down more slowly in groundwater than in surface water. Most efforts to reduce groundwater pollution focus on prevention. When the surface water is polluted and at the same time there is soil pollution, this can lead to underground water pollution. It is nothing but because of waste disposal at the same place, the river water is percolated into the soil as shown in the figure. So underground water is present in the underground. That it is polluted because of both soil pollution and natural water bodies. So all the pollution is interconnected and interlinked. Now, sources of ground pollution. Some toxic chemicals occurs naturally. That is aluminum fluoride sulfate. Pollution second. Pollution from human causes waste leaks through soils. That is pathogen enter through improperly designed wells and leaking underground storage and septic tanks. Third one is marine pollution. Marine pollution occurs when harmful effects result from the entry into the oceans of chemicals, particles, industrial, agricultural, and residential waste, noise, or the spread of invasive organisms. Air pollution is also a contributing factor by carrying of pesticides or dirt into the oceans. Land and air pollution have proven to harmful to marine life and its habitats. Many particles combine chemically in a manner highly depletive of oxygen, causing estuaries to become anoxic. When pesticides are incorporated into the marine ecosystem, they quickly become absorbed into marine food webs. Once in the food webs, these particles can cause mutation as well as disease, which can be harmful to humans as well as the entire food web. Toxic metals can also be introduced into marine food webs. If you can see most of the marine bodies like oceans and in the marshy area, or I can tell you the seas, since people won't be direct dependent on marine bodies, so lot of industries, factories, they release thermal water. They are releasing toxic material substance into marine water bodies. So because of this, lot of marine organism including coals, fish, different types of arthropods, etc. So all of this find vulnerable and find difficulty in such water bodies. And we can see the death of various marine organisms. So when the marine bodies is contaminated with the toxic material or substance, they are contaminated by non-biodegradable materials